What's up, everyone? Tim Fitzgerald here with the Fitz Blitz for March 16th, 2011. Talking NFL today. The NFL's collective bargaining agreement did not happen. Deadline was not met. No real surprise. This will probably drag on through the summer, at least. So the NFLPA really doesn't trust the owners, is what we've learned. There's no trust. They've given some information, but they don't trust that they're going to use the billion taken off the top that they want added to the billion they already take off the top to be used for stadium construction, improvements, things like that. Without seeing the books, the NFL Players Association doesn't trust that. As usual, I do side with the Players Association on this one on pretty much majority of the points. That said, NFLPA, don't do anything stupid here. Ridiculous ideas about boycotting a draft, and now the players saying some pretty dumb things. Adrian Peterson, I'm looking in your direction, that they need to keep the PR on their side. Their labor versus management. Like teachers in Wisconsin, they should have the people on their side. Don't ruin that NFLPA, okay? You've got a good thing going right now. They don't trust that the NFL owners are going to use that billion off the top they're asking for on top of the billion off the top they already take to be used for stadium construction without seeing their books. And I'd have to say, Jerry Jones, you really have exceeded your reputation this time of being pretty much a pompous jerk. I hate to just call names for people, especially a powerful man like him, on video, out on the internet, but in this case, I really stick by it. So, threatening and being bullying towards the players was a pretty poor idea. This is going to go to litigation, which the NFLPA had in mind to begin with. And we're going to be looking at, this going back and forth for a while with a decertification coming to avoid a lockout. So that's where that stands. In the meantime, there will be an NFL draft and Pro Day tomorrow, in fact, for Blaine Gabbert, quarterback of the Missouri Tigers, formerly at least. He's now entering the draft, and I can't blame him, with the lack of other quarterbacks out there that could be considered for a top 5 pick. Andrew Luck staying in really shot him up the board. That said, as somebody who's seen a lot of Blaine Gabbert, another year in school would have really done him a lot of good. Tomorrow at his pro day, he'll look spectacular for scouts and owners, general managers. They'll think he has a lot of potential, and he does. He has potential to be a B+ quarterback in the NFL. Problem is, he lacks what that other year of seasoning would have given him. On his pro day tomorrow, really the only mistake you could see of him is that he'll throw a little high at times. So his release point isn't quite right. He lets it go a little early at times out there. And that's even been noticed by the person who's working with him right now, Terry Shea, a former offensive coordinator and quarterback coach who works with potential first-round draft pick quarterbacks every year. But his issue that he has is that he is a little impatient in the pocket. He will dart out when he doesn't need to. I've seen a lot of 3-man rushes where Blaine could step, avoid one guy, reestablish himself, and make a throw. Instead, he's out of there. So, looking at the short term of just getting out there is what happens with him, kind of like with his move to enter the draft. It's a good short-term idea. We'll see if it works out in the long term for him. He could end up in a bad situation having to start right away, and the picks could start coming. But he is a very talented quarterback. A lot of potential, a lot of physical skills, really, and he handles situational pressure well. 3rd and long, game on the line, no problem, really. But physical pressure coming in, he is rolling out of that pocket and, making an errant throw. And that's what tends to happen. So that's the Fitz Blitz for 3/16. NFLPA, quit doing anything dumb. And tomorrow, Blaine Gabbert's pro day workout. Expect a good show, but it's not really going to answer, much like with most quarterbacks, what flaws he has. That'll only happen when we find him plugged and playing in there. All right? Fitz Blitz, I'm out.